Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How we all doing? We are here with the Bournemouth and Manchester United match preview and the Ten Hag press conference reaction. Welcome to the channel. This is the Red Devils experience. Hope everybody's doing well. Smash the like button for me real quick if you haven't already. It takes 2 seconds of your time. Really helps us out. Greatly appreciated. We're going to get right into this. Got a couple things here. Ten Hag says some stuff on the match that are important to the upcoming game. And we're going to break it down, analyze, and we're going to do a couple of the good stuff. So I hope everybody's doing well. Let's get straight into the press conference reaction first, because I think that's important to put out what the manager said first. Then we'll break it down ourselves and give our own opinions. So, Erik Ten Hag has stated in his press conference today, which was earlier, about an hour or two ago. He has discussed the challenges faced by Manchester United, emphasizing the impact of defensive injuries on the team's performance, which is obviously been a reoccurring theme this season. We have had injuries like no other team has had injuries. It definitely disrupts our performances. It has definitely led to the huge inconsistencies in performances, especially with the back line. If I remember correctly, there was a stat, something of like last week, that Manchester United has had about 31 different defensive lineups in about however many matches we played, 35, 36 for the totality of the season. That's absolutely insane. You cannot compete properly when you're constantly chopping and changing the back line. There's just no cohesion. There's just no repetition. There's just no togetherness in that back line. And we see why, because it's constantly a different combination. And a solid team is built on a solid foundation of defense, and we don't have one, which is why we have not been a solid team. So, he went on to update us about the injuries of Marcus Rashford, Scott McTominay, and Rafael Varane. Scott McTominay, while he stated is eager to come back and he was pushing to come back, he is not going to be available for this match. And Marcus Rashford, he did train yesterday, and he said that they're going to evaluate him, I guess, from the training from today to see how he recovers or whatever, and then I guess it would be a match time decision. I have a few things about Marcus Rashford that I'm going to say, but we'll come back to that later. And many people may be wondering about Rafael Varane, and it was stated that he will be out for a few more weeks. So Varane is not set to return for a couple more weeks, which means that Harry Maguire and Willie Kumbala will definitely be starting at center back, because we have no other center backs. Lindelof is still out injured. Johnny Evans is out injured. And Lisandro Martinez is out injured. So definitely those are center backs, and we're probably going to have one of the younger players on the bench as a backup for sure. And we pray that nobody else gets injured, because we definitely can't even afford it at center back or in the defense at all. So Ten Hag went on to discuss leadership and defense. He mentions Harry Maguire's role as a leader and defender. It's especially important during the team's defensive struggles. I would agree that Harry Maguire has shown leadership's quality, and he's backed that up with his performances on the pitch. Oddly and funnily enough, a lot of people would probably argue he didn't show this enough when he had the captain's armband, but he's been leading the team without the captain's armband through his performances, through being solid. Deserves his praise, deserves his Player of the Month awards, because he has been really good this season. And especially everything he's been through, all the hate, all the abuse, all the calling out, which I was a part of, and I don't take back. I think necessarily it was correct. He never displayed the qualities that we expected, especially from somebody that was worth 80 million. Now I try not to hold the price tag too much on these guys' heads because the club is incompetent. They pay stupid money and it's not the players' fault. But for the hype that he received from the English media and all that, and he's supposed to be this great center back, we didn't really see it at his time from when he came in. But he's shown it more this season, and definitely being really, really solid, being reliable, and having some fight in him, and just showing his maturity and his character on the pitch, which is what counts the most, and which is what the fans want to see. We want to see you put it, and we want to see you do your talking on the pitch. We don't want PR BS. We don't want this journalist saying this, family members coming out and saying this. We don't care about that. We just want to see you put in a good performance on the pitch, and we got your back to the very end. So he also went on to talk about structural changes. Obviously, John Murtaugh departing the club, and the impact on the team's management and planning for the future seasons ahead. And he basically, gave the PR statement of that the structure was well, the structure is still well. He definitely wants a director of football, though. He needs these people in place. Everybody knows. I didn't expect a different answer from him. I didn't expect him to call out the club in any sort of way. It is the way you handle these things, but behind the scenes, definitely he is asking for the more stability structure. Ineos are desperate to get the stability structure. So, and a little bit of analysis that the necessity of a solid back four is a foundational to achieving good results in football is stressed. He stressed that. I just said that as well. You need to have a solid defense, otherwise your team is not a team. And we've seen that. That's why we've struggled. We've had 32 different combinations of defensive pairings this season, and we have been super inconsistent as a team. We have also allowed the second most shots in the entire league, and we're averaging about 18 shots against us per match, which just indicates everything on how the injuries is affecting the defense, and the defense is letting us down in matches, which is resulting in inconsistent, crappy performances, as well as some other key factors. Players not stepping up, players being out of form, players not, as people might say, not trying, not giving it their all, or downing tools. The team's defense has been inconsistent, 100%, leading to fluctuating results. Just mentioned this, and performance levels. Leadership roles within the team, particularly in defense, play a critical role. Yes, they do. So a little bit more information. When he said Scott McTominay is unlikely to be available for the upcoming weekend, despite being eager to participate. McTominay's condition is such that his participation remains questionable, even though he is keen to push through. On the other hand, Rashford is trained the day before the interview, but his recovery and readiness were still under assessment. Ten Hag planned to observe Rashford's recovery from the recent training session and make a decision based on his condition closer to the match day. Now, I'm going to say this on Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford should not start this match. He's not 100% fit. He hasn't been playing well at all. And I don't think his performances and what he's been giving on the pitch merits for him to be starting this game. I think this is an opportunity to start either Anthony and Garnacho or Diallo and Garnacho on the wings with Hoyland up top. I think this is the way to go. I've been arguing this. Marcus Rashford has no credit in the bank this season. He's been given more than enough opportunities. He's been given more than enough chances this season to try and turn it around. He has failed to do so, and therefore he should be pushed down the pecking order. I don't care what wages he's on. I don't care what the club views him as, the superstar of this team or whatnot, the brand leader of this team. Doesn't matter. He should be pushed down the pecking order. I think Anthony, in the past couple performances, he's shown a little bit better. He's done better. He might warrant a start. I think it was rough for him to come on as a substitute versus Liverpool. It's hard to get into that match, especially when you did well and then you don't start and then you come on as a substitute. Also, I think Diallo definitely deserves some type of minutes. definitely deserves a chance for what he did for us. He was a hero against Liverpool in the cup. He helped us go through. If it wasn't for him, among other people, but if mainly he scored the winning goal. If it wasn't for him, we would either have went to penalties and been knocked out, or we could have won, but nobody knows because it didn't happen. So, but for me, Diallo definitely deserves minutes. Um, if Anthony's gonna start, Diallo for me would then be the substitute for one of the wingers, and Rashford would be the last substitute for me. Um, if Erik Ten Hag chooses the route of starting Marcus Rashford and he's not even 100% fit, I will be disappointed because this just means that Marcus can pretty much just not perform, not play well, and he's still going to get picked, which is an issue because players need to be picked based on merit and not based on wage and stature and all that other crap that doesn't involve playing on the football pitch for 90 minutes. Erik Ten Hag also highlighted the significant role of leadership, which I mentioned. Harry Maguire described Maguire as a great leader and a very good defender. I think he has been this season. It's crucial for leading the defensive line, especially when there are problems. His abilities to play comfortably with the ball and his leadership skills are emphasized as vital for the team's success. Ten Hag appreciates Maguire's presence on the pitch, noting that his leadership is even more important when the team faces defensive challenges. This underscores the idea that strong leadership can help stabilize the team and improve performance during challenging times. Um, Listen, Harry Maguire has been very, very solid this season, and he's shown a lot of character. And I'm going to keep saying this because we were so quick to bash him for all the other stuff, and he deserved it because he wasn't performing well. Obviously, there's a line you don't cross, but he has been very, very good this season, and he has been very, very solid. The only thing that hurts him still, which is something he cannot help, and he's almost 30 now, so it's not going to change. He's almost at the end of his career anyway. Is that he is slow, which hurts him sometimes because I think he is very comfortable on the ball. The problem is that he does get caught sometimes when he is trying to dribble out of the back, which doesn't make his playing out of the back elite. Like Lisandro Martinez is much quicker, and I also think he's a little bit sharper than Maguire, which makes him a little bit more elite in that aspect. But in terms of just being a solid guy, standing his ground, muscling people, winning the aerial duels, he's been great at all of that, and he has been good getting forward. When he does throw himself forward, when we need it, if we're down, if we need to get a goal, he has been actually very impactful in the final third, getting in there, trying to make a play, almost scoring a couple goals. So I like what I see from this guy, and I'm confident with him in the back. And Willie Kumbala put out a very, very, very beautiful performance versus Liverpool in only his second start. So I hope he can bring that and bring it into this match because we're going to need it, especially with a team that's conceding 18 or averaging 18 shots a match through the entire season. We're going to need strong, solid performances from both of them and from our right back and from our left back. Erik Ten Hag went on to reflect on the difficulties Manchester United encountered during the previous match against Bournemouth, particularly highlighting the team's lack of mental readiness and the physical challenges posed by Bournemouth's aggressive play style. He notes that after a strong performance against Chelsea earlier in the week, even though we bottled it, but we did play good up until the last 2 minutes of the match, and then we bottled it. Um, the team was not mentally prepared for the intense physical confrontation Bournemouth presented. The Bournemouth team is characterized as one that fights hard, and Ten Hag stresses the importance of being prepared to engage in these battles, support each other, and believe in their ability to outplay and outrun the opposition. This match served as a stark reminder of the need for consistency and mental preparedness in every game. I think there, 95% of it, he hit it right on the head. I mean, Bournemouth is not a team that then I don't think that they're necessarily going to sit back. I think they're going to come out, they're going to attack us. First of all, they're home, right? So we're going to have to go play. They're not going to sit back. They're going to come and take this game to us. They've been on very good form. We're going to get into these right now. They have managed to get 13 points out of the possible 18 in their last 6 league games. So they're in better form than us. They are also home. And I've watched Bournemouth play this season in a few matches, and they are not the team to just sit back, soak up the pressure 110%, and just try and get a point out of the game. They want to win these matches. They want to go out. They want to play football, and that might be to our benefit because it seems like when teams go to play football, it allows more space for us, which allows us to play better football, which also allows us to counterattack, which we seem to be the best at out of everything that we can play. Counterattacking is probably our strong suit. And it's important that our players don't do what they've been doing just because it's a Bournemouth, that they're going to try and take it easy. They need to be at the top of their game. They need to pretend like they're going to play Liverpool, like they're going to play Manchester City, like they're going to play Tottenham, where they're going to show up 110% and fight and fight and fight. Because Bournemouth are going to do that. And if we don't match Bournemouth are going to kick our ass. I mean, they beat us 3-0 early in the season at Old Trafford. And that's simply because they wanted it more. And we were not ready for that, like Ten Hag mentioned. So these players, if they don't show up, we will lose. And we cannot afford to lose. Erik Ten Hag cannot afford to lose. This Manchester United team cannot afford to lose. We need 3 points. We cannot draw. We cannot lose. If we do lose, it will most likely be on the players once again. Ten Hag will most likely get all of the blame. And all of the stories of him being sacked, replaced, will come out once again. And it's not needed, and it's unfair. Because we know that there's many, many issues with this squad, with these players. It's not all on the manager. The manager makes mistakes, but these players have been making mistakes, haven't been performing to what they get paid and what they're expected of for years now. Even before him, there's been players that have been here. They're still here. They're still doing the same thing that they done on the previous managers. So it cannot always be 100% on Ten Hag. In a normal situation, most of it usually falls on the manager, but Manchester United has been a mess for years and years and years. And we know by now it's not totally always the manager. Because we've been through 5 of them, and none of them have been successful. So, Manchester United has had defensive issues, which we've already mentioned, coupled with our recent form, which hasn't been great because I don't think we've gotten a win. In a few matches, we lost to Chelsea. We tied to Liverpool. I can't remember the other matches. What we cannot do, and if Ten Hag does this, then more of the blame goes on Ten Hag. What we cannot do is sit deep, soak up the pressure, which would isolate our midfield. Because Bournemouth is a side that they transition quickly, and they've shown the ability to punish teams that are wasteful in possession, which we are wasteful in possession. We do not know how to hold the ball. We do not know how to move the ball around a lot. So we cannot be doing that against this team. Cannot do this. We need to go out there. We need to be on our A game, and we need to play to the best of our ability. We need to control this game as much as possible, and we cannot sit back. If we sit back, we're going to get punished. We cannot sit back. We cannot be the team to sit back. We need to go play our game, and we need to play it as best as possible. In terms of individual players, Dominic Solanke has been in good form for Bournemouth. He needs just 1 goal to set a new club record of 17 goals in a single Premier League season. And on the other side, Diego Dalot is set to make his 100th Premier League appearance. He's been important to the squad. He made a mistake against Chelsea, but prior to that, he was in very, very good form for multiple games. He's been very important for us. And we need him to be on his A game and play to the highest level. So, how it would line up? I mean, the back 4 or 5 pretty much line themselves up. I mean, the team pretty much lines itself up, in my opinion. Obviously, you're going to have Onana. We're gonna have Delo on the right. I think Delo should be on the right, and Kumbala Maguire. They're automatic. There's no other options. On the left, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think he's been playing really good there, and I don't want to see him on the right because I think Delo is less effective on the left. So I would keep Delo on the right, just keep him the strongest, and let Wan-Bissaka just be Wan-Bissaka on the left, and let him tackle like he's been doing. Just don't do it in the box. Wan-Bissaka. In the midfield's a little difficult because Casemiro has been playing kind of crap, but I feel like we don't really have another option. I mean, I wouldn't be thinking of putting Amrabat over Casemiro. Scott McTominay is out. Um, so I would probably have to go with Casemiro, Bruno, and Mainu. I would like to see Mason Mount, but I don't think if you play a midfield of Mainu, Mount, and Bruno, because Bruno's playing and he's starting, so everybody knows that. Whether you agree with that or not, it's gonna happen. There's no way Bruno will be dropped. So what do? I wouldn't feel confident about Mount, Mainu, and Bruno. So I would put Casemiro in. Casemiro plays like he played in the last two matches, halftime, yanking him out, and either throwing on Eriksen or Mount and shifting Mainu back. You could always do that, but I like Mainu as the box to box because I think he provides good quality defensively and offensively. Obviously, the goal that he scored against Liverpool was beautiful, so you could see those qualities there. And like I said before, I would be choosing definitely Alejandro Garnacho and putting him on the left, and then either Anthony or Diallo on the right, and Højlund up top. I think this team pretty much picks itself. There's not many options. Højlund's our only striker. Garnacho is Garnacho, and he's been one of the guys literally carrying this team on his back. And he's getting that spot, and I think he should play on the left side, which he likes the most, and he performs probably the best. And Rashford should not be starting. He's not 100% fit, and he hasn't been playing well. So for me, there's no way Marcus Rashford should be starting. If Ten Hag starts Marcus Rashford, I would be hugely disappointed. And it will make me lose a little bit of confidence in him because I think he needs to. I think we're at a pivotal point in the season. There's players that have let us down too many times this season, and I think, you know what, it's just time to put your foot down and just say fuck it. Listen, I gave you multiple chances, and I'm trying to keep my job here, and I'm trying to get performances, so I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go with the best that I got and the players that are giving me the most, and in terms of attitude and performance on the pitch. And you just haven't been doing it, and you are on the bottom of the totem pole. And live with it. And when I put you on for 15, 20 minutes, show me something, and maybe you get back in the next match. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. So I think it should be run like that, 110%. And other than that, that's all we have for our match preview and Ten Hag reaction. Thank you guys for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please smash the like button. It helps us out. It takes 2 seconds of your time. It's a massive help. If you smash the like button, if you like this content, if you like the discussions, if you want to join this community, subscribe and turn on the notifications because we do go live. But yeah, the like button is very important. It takes 2 seconds of your time, and it helps us out a ton, and we greatly appreciate it. You guys mean the world to us for tuning in, for giving us your time, for listening to us. So thank you for all of that. Get involved in the comments down below. Throw out your opinions or anything like that. And we will be here for the next one. Most likely, we will be doing a Red Devil recap after the match. And it will most likely be live, so look out for that. And other than that, enjoy the rest of your Fridays from wherever you are watching the world in the morning, the evening, and night. and we will catch you after the match. Thank you guys very much.